This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
A shopping mall, commonly referred to as a mall, is one or more buildings that form a complex of shops that represent merchandisers. It has interconnecting walkways, which enable visitors to move from one unit to another within the mall. In some places, people refer to shopping malls as shopping centers, shopping precincts, or shopping arcades. Normally, malls are located away from central business districts. Like any other building, there exist standards for governing the building of shopping malls. Specifically, this paper examines regulations applied in the world, the Middle East, and Saudi Arabia in the building of shopping malls. It is suitable that a mall should be located at a place that takes an average of 30 minutes drive from a marketplace. This time is calculated by considering the condition and congestion of a place, ignoring the linear distance. A mall does not have to exceed 2 stories. This implies that it should not be more than 25 feet in height. Entrance and exit to a shopping mall are vital. For a large shopping mall, 4 exits are suitable to cater to the customers. This goes together with the parking space. For a shopping mall that is accessed with one-way aisles, a parking space of 10 feet is recommended. Conversely, a mall that is accessed with 2-way aisles should have a parking space of at least 20 feet. Generally, the parking space for a mall is standardized at a ratio of 3:1. This implies that for every square foot of retail in a mall, there should be 3 square feet of car parking space. If the parking lots have sidewalks, the sidewalks should be at least 7 feet wide to make it easier for people carrying packages to move freely. External doors to the mall should have a minimum clear width of 1,000 millimeters. Refreshment facilities, bar and restaurant, should be accessible to all users. Wide doors cater for free movement in and out of the mall. In addition, it helps the visitors to avoid touching other facilities like door hinges as they move. The facility should not be more than 850 millimeters above the floor. Floor space is a vital regulation in the building of a shopping mall. A mall should not exceed 2 stories. This is a standard height of 25 feet. The floor space is supposed to be 0.25% of the entire mall building. In addition, the ground floor space is set not to be more than 25% of the building's total area lot. The reason for large floor space in the malls is to allow free and comfortable movements by the visitors. Visitors who move freely without disturbances are likely to tour the mall more times. Congested malls discourage visitors. Finally, malls should be well ventilated and make maximum use of natural light. The materials used for construction should allow the building to be penetrated by sunlight to minimize lighting costs. In the Middle East, building standards are derived mostly from companies that use European construction standards, especially for large projects. This implies that the standards used may vary. For instance, there are companies from Europe that permit the construction of shopping malls in the central city areas. However, some European standards demand the construction of shopping malls outside the city centers. In addition, for shopping malls, public buildings, internally, there should be a maximum of 12 to 16 risers in premises in which there is space restriction. Handrails used on the stairs should be 840 or 900 to 1,100 millimeters. The handrail should be designed 60 to 75 millimeters from the wall. Last, the European standards, which are used in the Middle East, require that a public building meet the Equality Act of 2010. The act requires that a public building should be constructed with facilities that cater to people with disabilities. Middle East regulations for building shopping malls may differ from one country to another depending on the builder used and the country of origin. For instance, the building standards in the United Arab Emirates differ from the standards of constructing malls in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and vice versa. It can be concluded that the shopping mall building standards in the Middle East are dominated by regulations derived from European countries coupled with international regulations and requirements. In Saudi Arabia, the regulations for shopping malls are unique. This uniqueness can be linked to the country's Islamic culture. For instance, in the construction of a mall with a bar and restaurant, the owner should segregate a place for single women and single men. This is because the country prohibits them from dining together. Malls with restaurant and bars that allow association of single men and women in Saudi Arabia does not meet the standards. The mall should distinguish a place for married men and women. For instance, a place for single men can be constructed in the upper part of the mall, and that for women on the lower floor. In addition, fashion cloth retails within a mall are also distinguished. However, Saudi Arabia shopping malls do not specialize much in fashion retail. In constructing a mall in Saudi Arabia, a builder has to use heat-resistant building materials because the country is located in a hot desert region. Heat-resistant materials make a mall to be a comfortable place that can be used by different kinds of visitors. The mall should also have facilities that can help the visitors cool from the day heat. Generally, in Saudi Arabia, it is important to distinguish the shopping mall units by considering the Islamic culture. When this is considered, other international regulations and European standards can be applied. Building shopping malls requires one to think in terms of accommodating different visitors who are expected to come to the building. The accommodation has to deal with the parking space and movement from different units within the mall. The limitation of parking and movement space challenges visitors from enjoying the place. This study indicates that the construction of malls in the Middle East is based on the standards of European countries. Saudi Arabia, being a Middle East country, also relies on the standards brought by European construction companies coupled with global standards. However, this country distinguishes its standards by designing them to cater to its Islamic cultural needs. Therefore, building a shopping mall is directed by regional world standards and the special needs of a specific place, like culture. If you want to find more works like this essay on regulations to build a shopping malls, head over to ivypanda.com. It has a collection of free samples with thousands of submissions covering virtually all academic subjects. No registration required to access it.